Hey guys, sorry I wasn't able to be in today, but at least I get to somewhat teach. Today we're learning about timelines. Hooray! So you should have already done the Bellwork, which was how do you draw a timeline and what is a timeline? We're going to revisit these questions a little bit later. I do have a fun fact for you today. Your fun fact is that Antarctica is the only continent without reptiles or snakes. Hopefully that makes sense because Antarctica is freezing and snakes and reptiles are all cold-blooded. So announcements. Happy Monday. Good news, my first, second, and third period. The test has been moved to this Friday. 4th, 6th, and 7th. You guys already knew this, but everyone, the test is on Friday. I'm obviously out today. I will not be here tomorrow. I'm on campus though, and I may show up to your classroom. What you're learning today and tomorrow will be on the test. So today you're going to learn how to use a timeline, recognize terms such as AD, CE, BCE, and BC. So on your notebooks right now, go ahead and write down a number in the top corner where you are on your scale. If you're a 1, you can recognize a timeline. If you're a 2, you can use a timeline to identify chronological order of historical events and identify terms and designations of time periods. And this satisfies Social Science Standard 6, World History 1.1, and Social Science Standard 6, World History 1.2. If you are a 3, you can create and use timelines to identify chronological order and identify designations and time periods. The difference is if you're a 2, you're able to use. If you're a 3, you're able to create. And if you're a 4, we're going to get there today. That's to create a timeline using events properly, as well as timeline vocabulary to identify chronological order. So I have a question for you. Why do we use timelines? With your table, briefly discuss why you may use timelines. Go ahead and pause this, and when everyone is done discussing, push play again. Welcome back. So in your notebook, you're going to be drawing and writing the following slides. This will help you study for the test. It's not that much writing, but it will help you study. So just like in math, we go forwards. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. We have CE, and that stands for Common Era. That means today. There is also AD, which stands for Anno Domini, which is Latin for in the year of the Lord. I am running out of room. I will not let you write. There we go. And that comes from when the calendars were redone, particularly by monks. They needed a way to say, okay, well, this is where time, we're going to start counting up instead of backwards. So they used AD and Anno Domini. A lot of people say it's after death, and that isn't entirely correct. It's an actually Latin term. Now, CE is what I grew up using. It was done during time of political correctness, and they decided, hey, let's make a secular one that's not religious. Either one's fine. You'll see both this year. The next one, you can go ahead and pause that one back if you need to see it still. The next one, we go backwards to BC and BCE. BCE is before Common Era. BC, before Christ. Sorry, my pen isn't working too well here. The numbers go backwards. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 going this way. 2,997, 2,998, 2,999, 3,000. Pause, since you probably need to write this down. There are some things to realize, though. There is no 0, and time goes backwards since there's no certain start point. There isn't some kind of diary that says day 1. We have cave paintings but they don't really tell us what day it was. So time goes backwards. If we figured out something, we found a skeleton here, and then all of a sudden we found one here, time only started, going forwards, we'd have to restart it. Since we now go backwards, -2, we can just move either way. But remember, right here, there is no 0. So let's practice. On your paper, so you should have your notes. There's your notebook, thoughts, you have your notes written. Go ahead and create a timeline and put these things on the timeline. You begin in Conway, by the way, 2014. So pause, write these down. All right, let's try backwards. I'll start you off. Most recent goes here. The next, like that. It goes the opposite way, kind of like negative numbers. Pause and write. So now you have homework / do this now. I know that's a funky looking T. My regular classes, 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 7th, I want you to create a timeline of your life. Include 5 things that happened in BC, before Conway. Add 3 things that happened since you started middle school. Advanced classes, 2nd and 6th period. You need to create a timeline to extend your life. 5 things that happened before you were born, BC, before childbirth, and 5 things that happened within your lifetime. But wait, before you write this down, I want to show you some examples of some bad timelines. After each of these timelines, pause, identify what went wrong with each timeline. Each member of the group is going to write this down on their whiteboards and compare. If you're watching this at home, because I will be placing this on Edmodo, try to identify the errors before moving on. So here's your first example. Go ahead and pause, and yes, it says Mr. Parker and then Miss Angeliano. For some reason, when I transferred this, it did not work. So pause, write down what's wrong, share with your group, come back to me. Welcome back. Did you notice that there are no dates? The lines don't even make sense. They are everywhere. Like, why am I over here? I clearly belong there. All right, example number 2. Please tell me you know exactly what's wrong with this one. But go ahead and pause, write it down. Good, you're back. The colors are terrible. And the dates are nowhere near the lines. Like, I have no idea what that is. Nope. There are some things on here that you should notice. This right here, that tells you there's a break. This is around 400,000 BC, and this is 1770 AD. This break means that I don't have to write down every year between these two. You also have this funny little thing. This is a span of years. So this shows a span in the timeline. All right, let's try the next one. Go ahead and tell me what's wrong. Did you figure out there are no dates in the box? When was I born? World War II? And the dates, in addition, are not in appropriate increments. The other ones were by tens. This, or by 50s. So 1750 would be here. 1850. 1900. Sorry, there should be an 1800 here. There's also no squiggly lines to show a change in date. All right, number 4. Pause. Okay, so the title makes no sense. The dates are out of order. The markers are inappropriate. I was not born in a span of years. I was born in 1 year. And also the fonts are just awful. There's also no break. Pick a font and stick with it, please. And number 5. I don't even know where to begin. Pause. Hopefully find them. Okay, you should be back. Smiley faces, no. Gold discovered, again, no. You have the sudden World War II thing down here as an afterthought. There are no breaks. The years are far apart. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, this is just bad. This isn't even on the line. I don't know what's going on. This one actually happens to be a good example. There is a title. There are breaks. There's an okay amount of space. There are years, each one of them. This is appropriate because this spans years. That shows like that. These are at appropriate increments. This is good. So, remember, my regular class, you need to include proper increments. 5 events before you are middle school. 3 events after your middle school. Use real years, and then use BC. So, I might, because you guys have only lived 11, 12, 13 years, you might want to use increments of 2 years. So, say 2001, 2002, 2004, and so forth. Remember, you have the rest of the class to work on this. This is due tomorrow. Advanced kids. Same thing. 5 events before you're born, 5 events after you're born. If you were born here, this is 1 BC. This is 1, CE. This is 1 BC. For childbirth. Whatever you want CE to stand for. And then you have your other years. Alright? Please use color nicely. You have the rest of class to do this. That is all. I will see you guys Wednesday, Thursday.